I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of mortal dismemberment.
It's truly frightening.
This isn't a
It's your home.
Oh man, I got this. They love me too. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? It's Thursday night. You know what that means. It's 3 Corners of Horror live here on Horror Fiend TV. And it's a full house tonight, which I love having a full house. That means it just got more victims that I can shoot at. So, back to the channel. Norin, my friend, how are you doing?
Thank you very much for having me back. Very excited to talk this one for sure. I was very excited when y'all hit me up and I knew Cat's Eye because it's the 40th anniversary. So definitely, it has been probably a few years since I've seen this one. So it was really fun.
All right. And of course, the lady of 3 Corners. Lexi, how you doing?
I'm good. I actually feel like I'm getting sick. It's like my body's in limbo. Like it wants to get sick, but my body's fighting back. So I feel like monkey in the middle tonight. I'm praying that I don't go full blown sick, but
do some emergency now.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Lex.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say I'm excited to talk about this one because I talked to my mom this week and she was like, "Are you gonna be on Cat's Eye?" She's like now like super following all of us. And she's like, "Are you gonna be on Cat's Eye? Are you gonna?" Yes, Mom, I'll be on there. But Mom, like, I feel like I've seen this movie before. And when we got to talking, I felt like, did I? Maybe I didn't. So I didn't know if this was a repeat. And she says I've seen it, but I was probably like 5, 6, 7 years old, and I don't remember. I either don't remember or this is my first watch.
Oh, nice. Hey, I love first watches. Those are always fun too. And while sickness bounces off of me, they must always go to Lexi. So I'm sorry, because like this girl's always getting sick. We always yell at her at the end of the year too to take care of herself, because I swear to God.
And it's always in December. So for it to be April, like I'm in limbo, but hopefully it doesn't go full blown. I just feel like someone punched me right in my sinuses. This is just
feel better.
And I did day shift, so.
And then, of course, my brother JR, the villain. How are we doing?
Hey, come on, man. Just want to say thanks, Cujo, for showing up, man. Definitely need you in first bit of this movie, but thank you very much. But yeah, looking forward to looking at this one again. I mean, it's funny how when you watch this movie, you remember how good this cast was. And yeah, definitely it's going to be a good one to talk about.
And, of course, my beer brother, Rick. Salute. You ready for this
we
one?
all cheer for big bottles of beer. It's funny because Lexi had mentioned, I'm not sure about this movie. When Joe put it on the schedule, I said the same thing. I'm like, damn. I was like, Joe, before we get into this, please, do any cats get harmed in this movie? Because I won't watch it. And he's like, no, you're good. Right. So when I started watching, I'm like, oh, I've seen this movie before. So it's like, I don't know why the name escaped me, but yeah, man, I'm ready to talk about this one. This is 85. Man, what a great year in horror that was.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to figure out what shirt I might have that were in 1985. I didn't have any. I got to step up my shirt game. Yeah. All right. Well, let's say some hellos real quick before we jump into the movie and all the information.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Oh, here we go. Adam M. Hey, guys. Just rewatched this. Such a fun, but I'm sure it happens movie. And I love she'd probably be a lot in real life, Drew Barrymore. Yeah, this was right after Firestar. So Dino De Laurentiis did this and Firestar. That's how she got hooked up with this one. And Selena, hi fellas. Hi Lexi. I hope you feel better.
Hi. Thank you.
And Rose, hi baby.
Hi, Mom.
Mama Rose. Hey Mama, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a fan. And of course, I missed this one. I have to watch it. All right, well, no spoilers for you.
Oh, all right.
I'm kidding. Just mute it.
So yes, today we're going to be discussing Cat's Eye. It was released on April 12th, 1985, produced by De Laurentiis Entertainment Group, and it was directed by Lewis Teague. The screenplay from Stephen King, starring Drew Barrymore as our girl Amanda, James Woods as Dick Morrison, Robert Hayes as Johnny Norris. I love that. It kind of sounds like a brand of cigarette, which is the weird part. But yeah, so this movie is an anthology movie, and I know in some of the more newer releases, we generally just kind of focus on our favorite, the one we hated. But with the retro ones, I mean, we did it with Trilogy of Terror. We're going to discuss obviously each one. So everybody will give their thoughts on that. But JR already threw one out because I was curious if people were paying attention for some of the Easter eggs that were in this movie. So there are 5. I got 4. I didn't see. I must have somehow missed that last one. But JR already got mentioned one. So JR, you can't answer anymore. So he got Cujo. Norin, go ahead and give just one.
Christine, we got the appearance from Christine, so that was kind of cool.
All right, Ricky.
The Dead Zone?
That's the other one.
Yep.
All right. So wait. Yeah,
that's 3 so far.
There's one more. No, 5.
I did not get the Dead Zone. I have 5 on my list.
Yeah, Walken was on the TV, right? I think Walken was on the TV or something like that.
Yeah, he was watching the Dead Zone.
He was watching.
Mad young man.
Oh, and I think the one that I didn't spot was Amanda's mother was reading Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
Okay,
that one?
Okay. I missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't spot that one. And then the Lewis Teague is doesn't appear, but he directed Cujo, which is why you got Cujo in the beginning. So I mean, as we're watching, Adam's like, "Is that Cujo?" I'm like, "Yup, that's Cujo."
Yeah.
But wait, just keep watching the TV. Don't look away. And then it's like, "Is that Christine?" And she drives. She goes,
Dude, like
"Yes,
seconds
I am
later.
Christine." Oh yeah, I love that. I love that little, because it was right in your face. You didn't have to spend the rest of the movie trying to find the other ones. But yes, the Dead Zone.
What's interesting about the Christine one was Christine, I think, came out not too long after this, right? Or before. What year did Christine come out? I know Christine and Cujo came out the same year.
Yes,
never mind. Because Christine was before this movie. Yeah, all right. And that answered my question when I said Cujo, yeah. Because they came out, Christine and Cujo, I believe, came out in the same year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because I think all the Easter eggs in here are the only movies that were Stephen King ones before this. Like all the movies that were done before this film.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was awesome because again, it gets the horror fans and the Kings fan to go, all right. So they paid attention for this to get you in. So as I said, this is an anthology movie. There are 3 stories. The first one, I thankfully gave up. I know that you see me doing the vape. It is totally different than cigarettes. I gave up cigarettes 15 years ago. But I gave up cigarettes 15 years ago. I still, thankfully, proudly can say I will never touch a cigarette again. They taste gross. They will stand around people if they have to, but I don't have to go outside for a cigarette break anymore or be around a bunch of smokers. And if you smoke, it's okay. I'm not shaming you. For myself, I'm proud of it. Because thank God that I would not have tried to use Quitters Inc.
The Quitters Incorporated. No, I'm kidding.
The Quitters Incorporated.
Poor Adam would have all his fingers missing.
But yeah, so in Quitters Inc., this one stars James Woods. There's a couple other people on there that you've spotted from other movies. Norin, since it's been a while for you to be on here, I'm going to go to you first. Your thoughts on Quitters Inc.
So this is the one that I remember the most. I was messaging Lexi too, even before watching this movie, I remember everything about this story. This is the one that sticks with me the most, mainly because I'm a James Woods sucker. Anything he's in is going to get an automatic 3-star just because he's in it. He's a fantastic actor. I have the Vampires poster right there, John Carpenter's Vampires. So I love anything James Woods in. And this one always gets me because of the process of the story, and then the reveal when we get to the third act, and you kind of have that he's friends with Quitters Incorporated. He's like, oh, I'm happy, I'm not on cigarettes anymore. And then they go over to the dinner with the family and the friend's house or whatever, and you see the wife with the missing pinky and everything. So I like the way that this one kind of goes because it just weaves itself through the whole story, and it has that mafia kind of feel to it.
All right, Miss Lexi.
The first story I liked from the get-go because right off the bat it was starting with the Easter eggs. Now, like I said, I wasn't sure if I saw this or not, and just going back, I just feel like I haven't seen it. And if I did, I just absolutely don't remember, except the only thing I mentioned to my mom and to Norin was the fact that I could only just remember like, was there a cat like taking the breath away? And she's like, no, it's trolls taking breath away. I was like, I knew someone's breath was being taken away. I just didn't remember. I only remember the third act. I don't remember the other two. But the first act, I loved it. Again, because of the Easter eggs. I also felt like, I don't know if the films were before or after this one, but I felt like when he was on the bridge and he's in traffic and he sees the glove department box and, you know, cigarettes fall out and he's sneaking it, I felt like the ominous background behind him was Maximum Override. Like I saw a big semi in the back, and that's what I thought of. I don't know if that was before or after. So I was like, okay. And then I thought like The Shining, because he's like delusional and like, you know, in a almost drunk state, not a drunk state, but he was in that little party session with, and just everything around him is turning into cigarettes, packs of cigarettes. And it just reminded me of Johnny from The Shining. And then also recently I watched for the first time Thinner with Stephen King, and it kind of reminded me of that too, because there was an addiction to food and this guy was addicted to cigarettes. So those were my Easter eggs that I thought, but I don't know if that's before or after, but it did bring me back to those films as well.
No, I mean those are nods. I can consider those, and that whole like envisioning things. Like there was one time I was at a stoplight, and I literally in front of me saw cigarettes dancing, trying to entice me to have a cigarette when I was quitting. So you actually see some crazy shit when you're trying to quit nicotine. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Hey, GRC, he saw ballerinas once, so you actually quit cigarettes for that shit.
Let's see.
To smoke some good weed.
Man. Weed, man.
Well, I'll go to JR then, since you saw the ballerinas. What'd you think of Quitters Inc?
All right. So somebody's mentioned this yet. What kind of friend do you have that he takes you to the fucking place to quit? Experience what's going on in this place and like doesn't forewarn you at all. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I'm not inviting you to dinner if you made me go through this shit and then put my wife in jeopardy. But I thought, I'll be honest, I laughed at a lot of the moments in this film.
Me too.
I love James Woods and the fact that he has this habit of he could play like the villain but give himself the role of the victim at the same time. And he pulled it off really good in this one. But I like the scene where the highway scene. Wait, dude, people are gonna see smoke coming out of your car. So it's like as sneaky as he was, I would just chew the shit out of that gum he put in his mouth. But yeah, I mean, I like this one. I do like the mafia style. That guy was actually in the casino. That's the last movie I remember him in. The guy who played the doctor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure my wife would take me back if I had made her have to dance around and get electrocuted, because that was just so messed
just
up.
Quit.
And yeah, just quit. And in the end, I like the good thing at the end where they made the joke. Just cut your wife's finger off if you don't keep the weight. And all of a sudden, at dinner, and lo and behold, she's missing her finger. But yeah, I'm sorry, man. That won't be my friend. I wouldn't invite him to dinner. Fuck that dude.
Hell no.
But yeah, very fun movie.
He could have warned him, hey man, my wife lost her finger. You
know what I'm saying?
Way,
You probably can't do that. That's the whole thing, though. You can't
The
say
rules,
anything.
But
That's why in the beginning he did say the rules. It's
how
against
much of
the
a
rules.
friend are you if you never noticed that your best friend's wife is missing a finger too?
He noticed then.
He's like, yeah, that's true.
I guess. I don't know. How often do you look at people's hands, though?
I probably noticed it pretty quick.
Oh yeah,
I would.
Yeah, I mean,
I would
yeah.
notice. I noticed.
I guess.
everything.
I
You
mean,
know
I
me,
probably
Joe.
would too. I mean, I
You know, I noticed
Why?
that.
Most people.
In our
don't.
frame of work, Juan, I feel like we would notice.
No, I know. I'm just trying to give it for other people. Well, and it's funny because when Rick goes, "Oh man, are they going to harm any animals?" and I'm like, "No, that cat didn't get hurt when he got electrocuted.
I know.
That'll be fine." So, Rick, I'm going to you. What do you think about Quitters Inc?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. The one thing, the cat triggered me, man. The shocking. And I was like, oh wait a minute. All right, Joe got me. Maybe they don't get killed, but bro, my anxiety levels, bro, were off the charts.
100%.
I'm like, come on, what is this? Animal abuse? No, but
Just
but
a slight jar on the pause.
Well, Norrin mentioned, I got it in my notes too. James Woods, he carried this segment. He's great. I love how he portrays like anxious and like in desperation. I mean, if you've seen his earlier Videodrome, for example, like
Yeah.
he makes you sweat and he makes you like he makes your heart go because just seeing the way he reacts to it, it's almost like it's not over the top. It's really realistic. If you're gonna be put in these situations, that's kind of what it would be like. And I like how it's very ominous, especially at the beginning. How JR mentioned his friend dropped him off, and he's like, "Why don't you come with me?" And when he said, no, it's against, we can't do that." I forgot the verbiage, but I'm paraphrasing it. But he's like, it's against the rules, and he's like, "Okay, well." He went in anyway. Then he saw that lady, or the guy crying. His, the husband and his wife comes out, and she's like beating him up. With the purse and stuff, and this guy's looking at all these posters with the anti-smoking. By the way, it's the '80s when the guy he put a cigarette in his mouth in the fucking in the waiting room.
Yeah, he was gonna light up in the
Yeah.
office. I was like, oh, snap.
Like, what the fuck, bro? Do you know where you're at? What are you doing?
That's how it was in the 80s, man.
I know.
I had to remind Adam of that.
Yeah, it was crazy, but like the foreshadowing was good though in the beginning, and the way again that word ominous. That's what I got out of this one. And then when it got to the finale of the episode, with he saw his friend's wife's missing her finger, because JR said he took it as it's a joke, because when it got to that part, I guess a time skip, because him and the other guys are all buddies now, joking around.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well I guess this guy, I guess it worked. He did quit smoking, but now he's got to lose the weight, and that was a nice little touch on that. I really did enjoy that. But I love when General escaped. Funny when he escaped and that guy went after him, and I forgot the owner or the head guy. I think they did have mafia ties. You mentioned mafia, but I think they did have mafia ties, if I'm not mistaken. But he was like, "Forget about the cat, you damn hemorrhoid!" Like he called the guy a hemorrhoid. I've never heard anyone call anyone else a hemorrhoid. I'm gonna use that. Watch. I'm gonna use that.
Well, and literally before that, when the cat got away, he goes, "Oh, fiddly sticks." I'm like, I haven't heard that in forever.
That's like when Joe was like, "No shit, Sherlock." I was like, "Joe, what the fuck? Who says
I think
that
they gave him like awkward quotes like that, so he'd like kind of stand out. You know what I mean? Because he's kind of inviting, like when you first meet him, but you do feel uncomfortable. But then like you kind of feel the power still, like because the way he portrays himself, the way he sits next to James Woods, like he's always like kind of higher than him, so he's like trying to portray that
the way
power.
they framed those shots, they framed Woods exactly like he's like always beneath him. Yeah, that was, you know what, Norton, good shot on that. That is true. The camera work on that, it was telling. And last thing I would say is the scene when he's hallucinating and they're playing the police, which is a cover, but every breath you take, if you notice too, all those lyrics all reflect actions that happen within this movie. Every single segment in this movie, if you look at the lyrics, had something to do with the movie. We'll get into it a little bit later, but yeah, man, I think this was a good first segment, and it builds up until the climax. So when I said it was okay, it's not bad. It's just it's a good segment. It's not gonna blow you away, but it's not meant to. It's meant to kind of get you in that right mode and introduce you to the general. That general's my man, so we'll get into it.
All right, so before I go into my thoughts, let's look at the comments real quick so we can wrap up the first segment.
All right, there we go. I love this movie. I still have it on VHS. I have many 80s movies. This one is my favorite. VHS. I got very few VHS tapes left. I think Creepshow 2 is one of them. I know it is, but I think I got Titanic as well. Who's this? Welcome to the discussion. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? All right. Well, that is our first topic. We're talking about Quitters, Inc. Rose, when he was stuck in traffic, got caught smoking. That oh shit look, James Woods is awesome. He's a great actor. And you're right. When he started lighting up, I started thinking, what, really, dude? This dude was someone in your fucking closet, man. What? This was after that. Yeah. There's someone in your closet. You almost got caught. You know that. What are you doing? All right. And Rose, once again, dude couldn't hide anywhere. They electrocuted his wife. Wife is strong to stick around. I would have left. Not taking my pinky. Nah, chill. And Adam says, so ask Juan, Joe the psychologist, 10 minutes in, I smoked a cigarette, and I don't normally smoke anymore. The desire for that cigarette that he displayed, I felt it. If it was Juan a couple of years ago. That guy, the actor that was with him, with James Woods, Dick, in that scene, I forgot his name. that guy plays a dick in every single fucking movie. If it's
Oh.
a movie and there's like an evil political candidate, he's part of that cabinet somehow. This guy, I forgot his name. He don't age. He looks the same in all
don't.
these fucking movies, bro. And we had the smoke coming out of his ears and shit. It reminded me
Yeah.
of John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. Thank you,
Oh,
bro.
The crazy part. I'm sorry.
Well, because it's something you just said. I was trying to hold on to the thought. Damn it.
Well, let JR go. You think about it.
All right, so not for nothing though. Did you guys feel like that dude at the end goes, oh, once James Wood walked out, he goes, oh, let's have a conversation. The dude that was there, his wife was beating his ass, who just happened to be at that party smoking a cigarette. He was sitting on the couch and the big ass smoke. You guys didn't notice that?
Who,
Yeah.
was
That
that?
was
Wait,
the
wait.
same dude at the beginning where his wife was beating the crap out of him because she just
That was
didn't-
him?
That was him.
Oh damn! That means his
No,
wife. That means his wife got the second punishment thing too. So that's not good.
I got it now. So right before we went to rewatch this, I was actually watching The Talented Mr. Ripley. And in that movie, the guy, the asshole, he's Dickie's father in The Talented Mr. Ripley. So then when I'm watching this, he goes, come on, have a cigarette, Dickie. And I'm like, I just watched a movie with another one with you had someone where you called him Dickie. So yeah, the guy's been everywhere. For me, for this one, it was until more, obviously for this, I've watched this, I think today, two times. Yeah. I've watched this movie over 50 times. I guarantee it's one of my childhood favorites. I was trying to remember, I don't know if it was JR, Rick, or Radar. Someone gave a quote to what you classify this movie being when you want to introduce your children into horror. Gateway horror? Is
Yeah,
that-
Gateway. That's
Yeah,
that-
gateway. Yeah.
This is a good gateway horror.
Yeah, you're right. That's
And watching it, I'm 52. I was still
Sounds like a Radar
taken
would say.
back to when I was young watching it because I saw this when I was young. It's one of the, granted, I've seen some more scarier ones by this time, but this was one of the ones I saw when I was younger. So it's always stuck with me. I watch it every Halloween. It's on my list. I mean, it's one when I showed Rick, I was sitting out back watching it. He's like, you're watching? I'm like, dude, this is like the 50th time, I think. It's probably more, to be honest with you. But it wasn't until these last couple watches that I got the whole mafia vibe. And so what I think it was when the guy said our founding one, he was their mafia boss
yeah.
and died of cancer. And then they created this and
Yeah.
still kept their mafia ways. The party, what that made me think of was the Twilight Zone movie where the I don't know if anybody's seen that one, but there's a Twilight Zone movie. So when the little kid has all the adults captured and there's a scene smoke coming out of the ears, everything looking crazy. Like it gave me that, like I thought about the Twilight Zone on that one. But for me, man, thank God that I found a different way to quit smoking cigarettes. I would not have gone to these people because when I first tried, I felt, I mean, Adam probably wouldn't have like no hands or feet right now. I'd have to call him Stumpy because I would fall off on smoking for so much. But yeah, I like, for me, it's a good start. James Woods, I mean, again, as JR said, the man plays a villain while being victimized at the same time. Not many. Eric Roberts is probably the only other person I can think of that would
B-movie
equal.
specialist Eric Roberts.
That's
You
right.
know, those two are like on par with each other as that whole like when you see them, you can love them, you hate their character, but you're like, ah. But yeah, it's a good start for it. So now we're gonna go into the second segment. It stars Robert Hayes from Airplane fame, at least for me.
Yeah, that's what
Oh man, Ted
That
Stryker,
dancing
man.
sequence,
That's
that dance
Stryker.
sequence in
That's
Airplane.
Stryker.
Oh my god.
that's
So, yes.
where that motherfucker was from.
And it stars Robert Hayes. And he is a washed-up tennis player who's been having an affair with a mafia casino type's boss, tries to escape, and then gets made an offer. Either you go to jail for the cocaine that we put in your car, or you walk around the ledge of this skyscraper. You get the girl, I'll give you money. So I'm saving myself for last on this one. My thoughts on that. But Lexi, I'll go to you first.
Okay. I did like this segment. I felt like, man, fuck that old man, because like your wife's cheating, just let her go. Like, you have to torture this poor guy, which I understand. He's upset. The guy took his wife, whatever. But like, that's so horrible to be at like, I'm afraid of heights. Okay. So I just like, I had anxiety the whole time watching. And then they have these moments where there's like, and I'm like, like, I hate heights. I hate it. Just gave me like, it just put me on edge the entire film. And then the fucking pigeon, just kick that motherfucker. Like, I hate the little birdie just pecking.
Look at Rick's face.
No, I would have kicked him too.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're lucky that Rick can't throw something at you right now for that one, but he just said he'll kick him too. So
no, it's life and death, bro. That motherfucker was.
Yes, my life was the bird.
Plus, if you kick him, he's gonna fly away. He's gonna die. So.
Right, but it kept coming back. But I do love the karma to this segment because then he puts him on the ledge, and I just thought, karma is a sexy bitch, and I just loved that he put him in that place and ends up falling to his demise. So I liked that one because karma is beautiful.
All right, Ricky Van.
Yeah, when you guys mentioned gateway horror, this is the segment that came into my mind because it's a PG-13 horror film, but this pure horror. I'm afraid of heights too, Lexi. And all those scenes when just thinking about it, even before he got on the ledge, when he was describing what to do and he looked over, he looks over the ledge.
I would have.
And then again, the pigeon just picking at him. Again, it's not like it hurts. It'll hurt eventually because the constant. You can see the blood starts pooling in his sock, and yeah, and maybe he don't want to kick him because listen, one thing is you don't want to lose your balance. If you try kicking him maybe a little too hard, you could slip. That's the horror in this segment. And that's why I said the first one was okay. This one built up to a certain degree of okay. The horror is being elevated. No pun intended. Yes.
It hit your phobias.
Yeah. But this is the one too that really pissed me off though. When the fucking cat was trying to cross the street and they're taking a bet on like, all right, let's see if he can make it or not. And this asshole saying, "Come here," so he could get hit by the car. Oh Jesus Christ! There was an Easter egg here. What are those cars, Joe? You know, was it Was it another Christine reference? No, it was not. No, that was the beginning. There was, I don't know. It was so quick. I missed it. Yeah, dude. This here again, Stephen King. This was based on a story he wrote, which was in Playboy. So when the character at the end, when he's like pleading with Robert Hayes' character, I forgot. I don't know what his name is in the movie. He's going through the Playboy book, and he came across the art. You see it. The ledge that story's in that particular issue. I don't know if it was that issue, but it wasn't in Playboy during that time. And since it's a Stephen King adaptation, think about it. This is the same exact story as Creepshow's, the Tide, the one with Ted Danson. He cheats. He cheats on Leslie Nielsen's wife cheats on him with Ted Danson. He discovers it. He buries him in the fucking sand up to his neck. Same concept. The guy gets caught. He's a former addict. And I did like when they placed the drugs, the cocaine in his trunk. They had gloves on. I'm like, thank you for that little fucking detail. You don't know how many movies do shit like that, but they're leaving DNA all over the place. That was a nice touch. But this one here was the horror, the anxiety, bro. Like between the cat trying to cross the fucking road. And the guy on the ledge, and I did love how he got his revenge. Like, nah, man, I'm not gonna just take your money. I don't need it. You're gonna die. Then he fell to his death, man. That was so fulfilling, man. I love that.
All right, Norin.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of obvious when you watch these two stories that Stephen King was kind of big on, like, I think maybe like mafia stories at this time. I feel like he was watching or reading a lot of mafia stuff at this time. But I like another thing I wanted to shout out too was the music, because General, like when you see General escape and you kind of go into the next segment, the score for this whole movie and all the music is done by Alan Silvestri. So if people in the chat don't know him, he's famous for Forrest Gump, Back to the Future, Predator. Like this guy's done
his
anything
only
and
horror
everything.
film, by the way.
Nice. I love that.
Oh, he's big time. Yeah.
No, I love that
Yes.
this is the only horror film.
Oh yeah. He don't do horror movies, but he does blockbusters.
Like the Avengers
definitely.
Endgame, man.
So
Did it
that's
do
one
anything?
key thing I love too is the music. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
for sure. And this one, I think, like you said, Ricky was saying, the horror of this one is pretty frightening because like the whole time he's walking on the ledge, you have that guy just teasing him and messing with them and stuff,
Right.
and like he's spraying him with the water and everything. And then when he finally gets to the end of the ledge and everything, and then he's gonna give him what he wants, it's like that's kind of messed up when he just kicks the bag and he's like, "Here's your wife." I was like, "Oh man, like come on now." So it was kind of like that "what's in the box" moment almost from Seven.
What's the box? And mind you, too, he talked all that shit, but he didn't get very far. He fell quick. Ah!
Yeah.
It
Well-
was the bird, right? The pigeon.
Yeah, because he kicked it.
Yeah.
He lost his balance for kicking it.
Exactly what you said. He kicked it.
Yeah,
I
and then he
didn't
fell
think
on the-
about that. You're right.
Yeah, and then he fell on the horn, like the little horn that he dropped or whatever.
Yep.
Again, Chekhov's gun right there. That came into
Yep.
play. Wah.
I did like the ending sound. Rear.
JR?
Oh man, it was Ted Stryker versus Baron Harkonnen, who a year prior they did fucking Dune, so he was in Dune. The guy who played the but that's was, I'm afraid of
yeah.
heights too, and I'll be honest. The minute he told me, hey, what's over there, I was fucking threw his ass over the ledge, walking
Oh
out
my
quicker,
God.
man.
I-
That's what the first thing I thought. Listen,
I
if
thought
you're getting
about
over,
that.
I got the advantage. You're going over, man. I worry about your dumbass bodyguard who couldn't even get direction right. And he says, all right, when I say Mr. Morris, you walk in. All right, yeah, you got it. Yeah, I got it. The fact that they're arguing and there's the head of his wife in the bag the whole time. So I'm afraid of heights too. And this one, I'm sitting there like, you know what? Because I'm watching it. Look at my wife. Say, you know what? Just either I'll take the bullet or I'm going out fighting because I ain't going on that fucking ledge. I'm sorry.
I would
Listen,
never.
I couldn't do
Listen,
it.
if you want to have your wife back, guys, give her back. Less headache for me because I ain't got to worry about you coming after me all the time. I'll take the money, take your wife. This is the train she went on. But
Yeah.
you killed her before that, but whatever.
He's a guy's a
But-
tennis player, a former tennis player. He's an athlete. You can
Mhm,
take that
yeah.
guy.
Just throw him over the ledge. The minute he peek it over, they're like, dude, there's your shot right there, man. But yeah, this one was really good. I think the pigeon thing was hysterical. Because I would have kicked the fuck out of that bird. But and then another thing I'm looking at, all right, because when he first kicks the pigeon, behind him is a window. I'm like, dude, you never really thought about going through that window either. So there's a lot of stuff.
Oh
I
yeah,
would've
that's
did
true. Yeah.
then it was the windows, the two windows he passed. I'm like, man, I would have,
Yeah.
I would have threw your ass.
Well,
over
they
the-
were at the window. The
Mhm.
first set of windows, they were there.
Yeah,
But it
he
was-
figured out.
but
He figured out.
Yeah, but there was a window that he was on because above it is when he starts spraying them with the water. There was actually a window there.
Fell.
Oh yeah,
also.
yeah.
He also fell
Good point.
off the first ledge.
Good
Yeah.
baller.
Yeah. We would find ways. Unfortunately, he didn't find a way. But this was a good one. Like Afraid of Heights, I think is majority of people's horror, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before I give my thoughts, let's check and see if we have any comments.
All right, we got Adam. I totally could have done it. Could you, Adam? You know what? I think.
Actually,
Joe,
you
could
know
he do it,
what?
Joey? I think he could.
You know what? I think that little bastard might try to.
You gotta be tenacious, man.
I
to
think
get-
you know what? I'm gonna give him some credit. I think
You call
trust
him
me,
a bastard.
that little bastard. Yeah.
Not me.
All right, Rose. Ha ha ha. This part was funny. I thought, yeah, boo. The pigeon booted that mofo to the moon. Stupid bird. Yo, pigeons could be assholes. Let me tell you, man.
Oh, they
Like,
can.
I mean, if you spend time in New York, yeah.
They're rats with wings, man. Rats with wings.
I had that thought in my head. For me, same. I'm fucking terrified of heights. I even rewatching it again, just especially like when he went over, I still went as I'm watching it because it's you can't help it. I mean, and I my coworker had not ever seen this movie, so we're watching it, and I'm just loving his commentary. And also, he goes, "What would you have done?" I said, "Gone to jail for the cocaine." We got free food. I got a bed. I got a gym. It's only gonna be for temporary. I mean, and I would have made the right choice because he killed her anyways. So in the end, I mean, the whole thing was being done for her. So yeah, I'm gonna go to jail. Yep, I'll take the rap. It's mine. And yeah, just that easy. But It was great because it built just the thought. I mean, I don't know when you were watching it as he explained it, the thought of having to go around that whole skyscraper, and the scene where he goes around the one side where the wind is blowing. I was like, yeah, that's where I would have been fucked right there.
I'm clumsy. I'm going to fall. Fuck it.
Yeah, I would have gone around and be like, "Doo," like the wind would have just like knocked me right the fuck over.
Bro, I don't weigh anything. I would have.
Oh, you
You
would have been a feather in the wind.
like a flag. It just
I would have dropped down. I would have dropped down. Rick would have like floated like a feather slowly down.
When I was watching it, I was thinking like, damn, if you get halfway and like, no, I'm out. I'm going back. At that point, oh, but you know what? If you're gonna go back, that's more. That's another risk. I might just keep going.
That is the thought.
5'0" with tiny fucking feet. There is no way I'm getting on a ledge. I have no balance. The wind would have blew me right off that first turnaround. There's no way I would have fell. I'm with Joe. I'm going to jail for cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, because those were your two options. I mean, if you really truly think about it, once you looked over that ledge, you would have been like,
"We'll be in jail together, bro."
Yeah, because I can't. I would have been like,
"I'll protect you, bro. Don't worry about it, man."
Go ahead and call 911 right now.
Yeah, because at worst you're just going in for possession. They can't get you for like stealing or anything like that. It'd just be possession or whatever.
I'm not about to ask Alexa this question because I don't want like the feds thinking I'm trying to plan something. But I'm thinking, I don't know, 10 years. 10 years. His character was probably somewhere around 34th. This is the 80s, and I know when people, if they see this movie now, they're probably thinking that he was like in his 45s or 50s. Nah, he was like in his 30s at this time.
They look a lot older.
They do a lot
and also,
older to now.
I'm assuming he was a bit of a celebrity, so they take it easy on them. They give him more of a better treatment.
Exactly. So yeah, oh my god, I'm sorry to have disappointed all my fans. I have a cocaine problem. I decided to buy in bulk. And then I got pulled over. They would have let him go. They would have been like, "Oh, bravo!
Tiger Woods has done worse."
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. Oh, it's one of those. Yeah, the other option was the better way to
golfer.
have
Never
fun.
mind, he's a golfer.
It was pretty cool seeing that dude Ducky. You guys remember who Ducky is? Mike Starr.
No, who's he from? Enlighten me.
He was from Dumb and Dumber. He was one of the hitmen that got hired to take out.
I've never seen that.
You ever seen Dumb and Dumber?
Nah.
Oh yeah, he's the one that when they're sitting in the car annoying him.
He's the one that had the allergies. He can't eat the spicy.
I don't. If something looks obnoxious to me, I don't watch it.
That was pretty good, man.
So funny.
I'm sure it is. No, it's
so
very
young,
popular.
man.
I'm sure it is. It's just more of a personal thing. That's all. Personal preference.
All right. So now we're gonna get into the last segment, but before we get in there, bonus question. Drew Barrymore was in all three segments. Did everybody raise a hand? Did everybody notice her in all three segments?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Obvious.
All right. So, again,
very brief in the second one, right?
Yeah, well, it was
actually missed it.
It was two because she was the little girl in the
TV, right?
the TV, but it was also her, Amanda, talking to General to come for help. So sorry, was trying not to burp, and it was.
I like how you mentioned that, Joe. Before you continue, because Teague had mentioned before that he had a whole. The beginning of the film was a lot different. Or not. I don't want to say different, but it was a lot more to it. It kind of explained General's origin, and they found it too. It didn't really. The tone wasn't right. It was too like whimsical in a sense. But because that was cut out, I didn't even know that was General going from scene to scene because it was all over they went to like different states, bro. Like how the fuck this motherfucker?
I think it was New York, New Jersey, and then North Carolina.
Yeah, what the hell? But anyway, yeah, that's just a little. I like learning stuff like that. I like when directors man, like they fucked with my vision, man. They fucked with it, so it could have been better, but it was alright.
But for me. Cat's Eye, I've always remembered Cat's Eye for General. General was the one story that stuck out because, again, I think JR, I don't know if you were like this was one we watched together, but I know that I think Mom had actually played it and like we were watching it. It wasn't truly people weren't getting slashed and stuff like that. So it was she's just let the movie on. So that's how I saw it. I saw it.
It's a good TV movie. It played a lot on TV.
Oh yeah, I mean it would be as soon as it got on syndication because again it's a gateway horror. But as a little kid, and you know Drew's only 2 years older than me. Actually, he's gonna be 3 years older than me. So when I'm seeing the movie, we're not that far from age, and you heard the stories growing up that cats take your breath when you're sleeping. So
I never heard that.
you never heard that?
I did.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh,
that's a story. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, it's an urban legend that's been around for
Every
years.
breath you take. There you go. That's one of them. See? That's one.
And so in the beginning of the movie, Amanda calls out to General because she needs help. And actually, yeah, she did from all the way from the beginning. And that was basically General's mission, is to make it all the way there. And I'm sure that every single time, especially when he got grabbed the second time, he's like, fuck. I'm trying to make it North Carolina, people. Can you stop grabbing me here? I mean, like, you don't know what I just left in the first one. Now I got to deal with this shit. But, you know, General finally makes it to North Carolina. And there he comes to Amanda. And you have her mother, who does not want to keep the cat. The dad, who's all willing. And Amanda, who's been trying to tell her family that there's a little monster in her room. So, actually, Jer, I'm going to go to you first on this one. Let's talk about General.
Motherfucker's bad luck, man. Everywhere he went, somebody almost died. Well, somebody died in the second one. You know, he was at fault for the death of a parakeet who was just minding his own business and shit in the fucking room. And then he almost caused, you know, his wife to lose her fingers. You know, so he was bad luck throughout the whole movie. So he was an antagonist in this film because he brought a lot of bad luck. That little troll was just minding his business and shit, going into the house, you know.
Really?
I mean, if Jim Henson did horror, this was Jim Henson's vision of horror. Because that, and I know Rick is gonna appreciate the look of the little troll. That was freaking amazing.
Yeah, for 85, it was great. Yeah.
Yes, 85. Yeah, and it looked really good, especially you know, walk around the room, you get that little, you know, scene where it kind of reminds you of Sinbad from back in the days. Where it's,
I thought about those things.
Me too.
You could tell how they were not together on the same page, on the same frame. It just post production.
But overall, I mean, I think this was the lighter end of, like, I saw it as horror, but I didn't really see it as horror because it did have the comical elements to it. But like when Priscilla's watching, she was like, "Oh my god, I think it's gonna give me nightmares." Like, what are you talking about? I think it's cute. Got 3 little bells and shit. You know, little sword. You know, it's adorable.
His little dagger. His little dagger and shit.
Think about it, man. He's running away. Hey, he goes like that and stuff with the sword. I mean, come on. He has a good sense of humor. You know, his death awesome. I'll let somebody else talk about his death, but yeah, overall, I like the story because it did bring the child element in about monsters in the walls, monsters under the bed. You know, even though, you know, not for nothing, this is bad parenting once again because you have your daughter outside in a thunderstorm looking for a cat, which I didn't get that. You know, the mom's looking out the windows, fucking thunderstorm, and she closes the windows while your daughter's still outside. But yeah, I mean, this film is, I think it was the lighter end of the anthology, which I appreciated that because you kind of needed that in a way. But yeah, I thought that troll was adorable.
Well, I'm going to defend General and say that the reason the troll killed Polly because somebody had mentioned the whole mafia ties in the first 2 stories. Well, see, the troll was pulling a mafia move by killing Polly to set up General to get General sent. Oh, yeah. So no, I'm defending General. He was not bad luck. You know, it was, you know, and besides, the other one was a gambler, so you just made the wrong bet. So, you know. But Rick, because I was gonna go to you first, trust me, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait for a second because I know Rick's gonna bring up Polly. I mean, you know, again when Rick texted me, I'm in my head going, all right, so we got a cat that gets electrocuted. Oh no, there's poor Polly. Oh, General gets stabbed. No, there's no animals harmed this movie, Rick. Not at all. So, Rick, your thoughts on General?
This was absolutely the best segment. This was the crescendo of the film, the peak. This is beautifully handled between the first segment, the second segment, and then this one. It's funny because when General kills the bird outside and the mother is looking out the window, right? You know, I take care of stray cats out and where I live, right? There's a bunch of stray cats. I feed them and shit. One of them, I call them buddies. My boy, I mean, that's my smoke partner. You know what I'm saying? So one day I'm outside, right? I'm doing my thing, and he's coming from way far in the distance, right? And this motherfucker has a pigeon in his mouth. He just places it right on my feet. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What are you doing, bro? So cats, that's a natural instinct. I don't get mad when I see stuff like that because that's what they do, whether it's little birds or mice or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm okay with General doing it. That doesn't make him a villain. He's not a bad guy. So that was fine with me. And the mother infuriated me in this fucking episode. Oh my god, when she took him to that shelter again. Every episode has something that triggered me. That fucking shelter, bro, with that door that said, you know, euthanasia room. I was like,
and you saw the two little kittens first.
I was
like,
oh man, that's what I'm saying. Come on, really?
Again, no animals were harmed.
Termination on the General's on his little cage there, and he's just chilling or sleeping, but he wasn't chilling there. He was waiting for his opportunity. Soon as they opened up that fucking thing, he was out. I deal with cats all the time, so the way that behavior is so normal with cats. I love fucking cats. That's why I love them. And yes, the troll. This was the episode, the segment that really triggered my memory. Like, okay, I absolutely seen this movie because the other two segments, I was like, it's like almost like a deja vu. Like, I think I might have seen this, but when it came to that fucking troll, it's like, oh yeah, that fight. The fight between, because this was always on TV, this fucking movie. That's what I said. The fight between General and the troll was fucking great. I love how his whole mission was to protect Amanda, man. That was great. Now, and again, from the very beginning of the film, he was set on that course, like Joe said, and the fact that he finally made it. He gets there, then again, and when you mentioned the troll set him up, I never thought about that. That's fucking genius. Yeah. And the troll took the fucking a feather and put it like on his little, you know.
That was messed up.
His little, I don't know what do you call it, his little gesture happened.
Right.
He put like a trophy there to remind you.
That's a mafia move.
Yes. And then he stabbed General with the fucking blade. And the dad, I was like, all right, the dad's the coolest one because the dad was actually showed empathy towards the cat when he saw he was injured. By the way, the dad's a voiceover for I forgot which car manufacturer, but he's I forgot, but he's a voiceover guy. You probably seen him in commercials.
He's still been around. He's been around, so.
But that cat shelter scene, man, yeah, that was crazy. But Frank Welker, Joe, I know JR knows Frank Welker, obviously, the voice of Megatron and so many of our childhood favorites. He was the voice of the troll in this one, so.
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool, and yeah. General was a hero. I love how it ended. He was a hero. He saved the day again with the police track playing. Again, more, you know, he spun it so and the fact that he knew the buttons were pressed. Cats, I'm telling you, that's not a stretch. Cats know shit. I'm telling you, they remember.
I had a cat.
They remember things, and if they see something, oh wait a minute. This stops it. Oh, let me do it again. Boom, and it sped it up even faster. And I love how we got chopped up into the little bits and pieces. And finally, the fucking parents were like, "What is that?" They finally believe. How come I'm not a parent? How come parents always find it so difficult to believe their children? Like, is that only movies or does that happen in real life?
Crazy. I think no. I would definitely believe my kid.
Yeah, like, if your kid was complaining to you, would you be like, no, it wasn't it's the fucking cat. You got no goblin or troll living in your room. Which that I won't lie, that is kind of far fetched though.
The first thing I would ask when I walk in the room is, so who taught you to yell "cream him"? Where did you learn cream? Because she was like, cream him, General Cream.
Yeah, and what's crazy was the mother and father are banging on the door. Amanda could have just got up, took the little door stopper out from the fucking that was wedged on the door by the troll, right. And they could have came in and helped out. And she was, look, see, I'm telling the truth. It ain't General, but yeah, she's like, the parents are banging at the door. Holy fucking Hollywood, man. But yeah, man, this was a great segment. This is up there to me with like Trilogy of Terror, with the last segment with the little with the fetish Zulu warrior, the hunter. I love it. And again, like JR mentioned, very well done with the troll. It looked great. and the way they composed it to the to the actual film for like the scaling and stuff like that, it looked good. Of course, like just like Sinbad, you could tell when it's not real, but it's 85. That's okay. It gives you that charm, that special charm that you're watching something magical from a period long gone. So I dug it. This was a great way to finish the film with General. That's what I want. I want General, bro. What's it? Tabby cat? What kind? Alexa, what kind of cat is it? Was it a tabby cat? What is it?
It's not a tabby because that's an
No?
orange cat. I think. Oh crap! A calico
Calico.
cat. Calico.
Calico. Yeah,
Calico.
Calico. That's right. You know why? Because I play World of Warcraft and I had the little Calico cat as a little companion. JR should know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a Calico cat. Good shout.
Well, before I go to Norin and Lexi, let's go ahead and hit up the comments
I
real
got you,
quick
brother.
because some people comment on the other topic and I don't want them to get
Yeah,
behind.
yeah. All right, ready? All right, start here. Thank you for the insight. That's pretty awesome. And typo. Heights are my phobias. Yeah, man. That's from the previous one. Miss Wilson. Hey everyone. Hey, Miss Wilson.
Hey,
What's
Miss
up?
Wilson.
Thanks for
Who's this?
tuning in.
Mrs.
Appreciate that.
Wilson. People say
Mrs.
Miss.
Wilson. Why I said Miss? Mrs. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
My
Mrs.
bad. And Rose again. Oh yeah, she was calling him. He was her guardian angel. That's why he knew he had to save her. He was her protector. I love the fact that he did have a mission, man, and he stuck to it.
Yeah.
If that was a dog, he would have said, "Nah, fuck this, man. Let me rub my balls." Bitches at NYC are beastly. They have no fear. Yeah, that is true. The troll was the one trying to steal her breath. Candy Clark is the best bitch mom ever. I hated her just because of how good she played. Yeah, she did good. She tried so hard to get rid of General. I felt when she opened up that can of tuna, I was like, oh no, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
The score. You had the score going the whole time.
Yeah. And I love that score, by the way. It was almost like a superhero heroic theme that they gave General when he.
Yeah, his
he
theme.
went-
Yeah.
This motherfucker ran from that fucking shelter in the rain all the way back to her house, man.
With a
Climbed
stab
the-
wound.
Climbed the tree, wounded, yes. And it's all good. Thanks for entertaining me today. I apologize for that.
Oh.
Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate
All
it.
right. So, Lexi, your thoughts on General?
Oh, this one was my favorite. Again, I was not sure. Did I see this? I've been in limbo all week. Not only physically with my nose, but I'm in limbo with this film. I'm like, did I see this or not? But that was the one thing that I could only remember was a cat took the breath away or something took something away. But it had to do with breath being taken away. And then my mom's like, no, there was a troll. And then when I started watching it, I was like, okay, I remember this one. This one is very memorable to me because I don't remember the troll, to be honest, but I remembered, the cat. I love cats. I have 2 of my own, but I loved General from the beginning to end because, this is why the film is called Cat's Eye. He's on a journey from the beginning to get to Amanda. And the fact that, like Rick said, the mother really fucking irked me. I just wanted to punch her in her face. Like, just keep the cat. The kid wants the cat. Like, I guess that would be my husband. He would be like, no, we're not keeping. We already got 2 stupid little idiots, but we don't need a third one. But I just hated the mother. I loved the dad. Back to your earlier question, Rick, I feel like, yes, I would believe my child, but there's a level of, there's a troll in your room. That's just a little weird. So yes, I would make them feel like I believe them, but I'd be like, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. And I like that the troll, I loved the troll. Although I don't remember it. I do love the troll, especially when he comes out of the little hole and then he patches it back up to hide. So that was really cool. I loved it. And my favorite scene of the whole segment was the face off when General and the troll are eye to eye. The camera work is in front of all 3 of them, and Drew Barrymore is just like, it was just awesome. And the shelter part really broke my heart. I was like the tiniest little baby kitten, the little white one, and I was like, I want all of these cats.
Save them all.
Save them all. And but he moved quick. He went zoom as soon as that door, and so the whole face off with the troll and General, just go General. I love him.
All right, Norin.
Yeah, I think definitely this one was the most whimsical, like I guess fantastical of the stories. You know what I mean? Like Jr. was saying, it's not really horror. There is horror in here, but it's more like I said, whimsical and stuff with the whole troll and the more like kind of urban legend thing of cats stealing your breath and stuff. Which they kind of tease that at the end a little bit, like which that's why I was talking to Lexi too. I was like, I think that's what she was thinking of because you see the cat like walk up to her when she's sleeping still and like she's laying there and stuff. So
And
they
that
tease it like a
scene
tiny bit.
actually, and that scene actually, I don't mean to interrupt. That scene actually was like in my memory was like the cat took a breath away. The cat did.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that scene, I was like, I was right. Oh wait, he's just giving a kiss. Oh. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that was the one that I was like, for sure. That was the one that clicked. I was like, I think she'll remember this part and stuff. And for me, I would probably say Quitters Incorporated is probably still my favorite just because that's the most memorable one for me. Like I said, I went years without seeing this movie, and that was the one I remembered every part of that segment. So that was probably still my favorite. I would probably go General as my second one. They did spend a lot of money too on like when you see the shots of the troll just going around the room and you can see how they built and made like the giant bed piece in the corner and they see him running around to make it look like he's actually in the room at that size. So yeah, there's a lot of, production into this one and stuff and fun that they ended it like that. And the Cat's Eye theme, we got to talk about that credits. The Cat's Eye theme was pretty epic too.
The first Quitters Inc. was definitely the most original one. As
Yeah.
far as
Oh, yeah.
unique as the narrative in the story. I haven't really seen a story like that before, so that's pretty cool.
No, not at all. I mean, especially if you want to quit some, which is funny because my coworker wants to quit cigarettes, and I'm like, I got a movie I'm going to put on that I have to review. You don't have to watch the whole thing.
I know
Can you at
it's
least
long
watch?
now.
Ricky. I'm like, can you just watch this section? And then he's sitting there, and all of a sudden he goes, I thought he said something about a break, and I'm like, you're missing the point here. He goes, no, man. He goes when James Wood wants to smoke the cigarette, he made a comment. So I thought he was trying to tell me he wanted to go have a cigarette. And I'm like, you're missing the point. And he's like, no, he really needed a cigarette pad, not me. And I'm like, he's like, dude, I wouldn't have signed up for this shit. I would have quit definitely. But for me, again, the ending, it's one of the more memorable ones for me. When I saw this, I was probably, I don't know, 10 or 11. I was young, and my mom played it. It's nothing that was gory, but the little troll did scare me as a kid, and I had heard the stories by then about cats taking your breath. So when it was now telling you that it's not the cats, that it's trolls that can get into your room, well, when you're a little kid, that shit can fuck you up. But
It came from the outside too. Where did it come from, man?
I know. Well, yeah,
Under the
you don't
bridge.
know if there's more than one. That's why they asked if they saw more than one.
Mhm.
But I mean, I loved it. It's one that's always stuck out. You can't help but laugh when you're watching it. When he thought he was gonna swing across and he actually grabbed the string to the balloons that were half deflated. You're laughing. When General hits him and he's spinning around. But it's funny because I thought the same thing with the whole Sinbad cinematography and the way it was shot. But I gave it its props when the troll was walking on the bed and they made the sheet go down with the steps with it, because I told Adam, I'm like, this is pre-CGI. This was people that meticulously took this shot. It wasn't on a computer. They had sat there to be able to superimpose this to do like these little steps. I fucking loved it. It again, because I'm talking about when I seen this in the 80s before all the stuff that we have now for special effects. That shit was fucking scary. To have a little tiny thing that while you're asleep, take your breath away. And then you're like, oh my God. So those moments that you're like sitting there choking, as you're older, it's called sleep apnea. But when you're younger and you're sitting there choking, is it really like it's always stuck out. It's one of my favorite ones. It's
Might still be sleep apnea for little ones.
it's
I run pediatrics, so
yeah, I won't do that. I can't do it.
Have you ever
What are we gonna say?
Have you ever dealt with sleep paralysis?
No,
Yes.
but I've
Never?
dealt with I have done REM behavior disorder. I'll say it really, really quick. The guy, literally, that's what we were testing him for. The mom goes, "All right, should I show you the videos that I have?" And I said, "No, because we should be able to see it for ourselves." She's like, "I really want to prepare you." I'm like, "Just tell me." She's like, "Well, he sits there and talks to someone in the room." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" And she's like, "Yeah, we have him on camera. He'll prop himself with the elbow. He'll sit there and start talking to somebody, and he'll go back to sleep." And I'm like, "Ma'am, I watch a lot of horror movies, and I'm going to have to say that's kind of freaky. I really hope your child does not do this to me tonight." And then she also tells me that he sits up and throws punches in the air. So I was in the dungeon, Lexi, and he was in room 7.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting there, all of a sudden I hear blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, who the fuck's talking? And I look on the camera, and this fucking kid is talking to somebody in the room. In the morning, I said to him, "Do you have a girlfriend?" He goes, "No." If you start dating, you need to let her know that you talk to people in your sleep, because that is freaking freaky. And I told the mom, I'm like, I have never seen this before. This was really freaky. And he sat up and threw those punches, by the way. Digress, sorry guys. But yeah, so for me, I mean, the general, it closed it off. And I love that the third act, you know, the third story is general. I know, I saw it myself too. I saw something there. I think there's something wrong with one of my connections. But I love that it closed it off with general. And we got the name for the cat, because all along, you know, he didn't have a name. It wasn't until Amanda gave him the name. And it's my favorite one. So before we go to closing thoughts, just check real quick if we got any.
Nope, we're good.
We're good? All right. So
let me double check. Did we get Adam? I'm not sure.
Oh.
In that important moment, all you can hope is that you have a general on your side. It sucks when we keep saying general. I keep thinking about that fucking commercial with the Shaq with the general. I keep thinking.
Dude, and it's weird because that company originated in Florida. There's a whole story behind that one. I'm not about to get into it now. All right, so we're not going into closing thoughts. On the channel, we rate our movies 1 through 5, obviously 5 being best. It's going to be ladies first. I'm not going to be rude. So, Lexi, I'll go to you first.
For me, it's definitely a 3.5 because, you know, for me, I felt like it was not as horror as I wanted it to be. Again, I feel like partly it's first watch for me and partly not. But I enjoyed every single segment, General being the best one. For in my opinion, but a 3.5. But again, I'm a 90s baby watching the 80s, so it's different. But I do like it. I did enjoy it. I would watch it again, and I do love General's journey because it's called Cat's Eye, and when you go into each segment differently, you wonder, why is it called Cat's Eye? Well, it's because it's his journey. I forget where he started, but he's watching these humans from his point of view, his eye. So I do love that, how it all ties together in each segment, in each part of the General's journey. And I do love the fact that we don't know his name until the end with Amanda. So when I was like, oh, his name's General. Oh, okay. I'm glad you have a name finally, because I was calling you Fred up until that time. But I loved it. I enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. And now I'm here to show Kaylee because she loves cats. So she'll be totally into it.
I mean, you already showed her Saw, so you're way past gateway horror.
Yeah,
so, but
I went straight into the bad shit.
Yeah, no, you can at least go back to some like PG horror. All right, Lauren?
I'd probably sit around, I want to say not to like twins out all hardcore, but I'd probably send out around 3.5. Yeah, I'd probably be like a 3.5 too, because I like the stories, but as she was saying, I want more horror in my scary stuff. And then when it comes, it is a good gateway one, but when it comes to anthologies, this is like a good kind of, like I said, middle of the road. Like I said, it's good. It's just like right there in the middle, but there's other ones that are like way better, and then there's others that are way worse. So for me, I'd probably sit at a 3.5. A lot of that is too because James Woods. Like I said, I love James Woods, but yeah, the music and him being the Quitters Inc. one, those are probably my two favorite things about it. And then General's really fun too.
All right, JR.
Oh, this is also one of the films that actually had a wraparound story, which is pretty good because, wow, yeah, the 3 different stories take place. The wraparound story was General's journey, and the fact that you had the father who went outside and threw out Polly, and he goes, "Oh, here you go, killer." And then he guys such a general, he got blood. He comes inside, goes, "Hey, he's cut." Mom goes, "Oh, good. Polly got one last peck. Good for Polly. Good for Polly." He goes, "Whoa, I didn't know Polly had a big pecker."
Yeah.
I love
that was
that.
a good line. I love that line.
The wife was like, she got that wrestling bitch face. Like, really?
That's that 80s mom face.
The only thing I thought was I know where she got the saying "cream him" from because those parents. Anyway, digressing on. But for me, it's like
JR.
I would give it a 3. The only reason I would give it a 3 because going back to watching it again, I felt like the only thing that kept hitting me is what would happen if they would add like 5 more minutes to each story, because it seems like you could have added a little bit more to some of the stories.
Right.
Not the ending. I would have left the ending untouchable, but for some reason the 2 I wanted a little bit more of, because I did want to see some more of James Woods for some reason. I wanted a little bit more of his story because I felt like his story went fast and it concluded too quickly. I mean, I like the whole thing at the end where you're missing he sees the wife missing the finger, but for some reason I just want a little bit more. And the second one, that's probably my least favorite out of the 3, because once again, I did want a little bit horror element, like not for nothing. Like if you're trying to get dude off the ledge, where the fuck are you getting this fire hose from? I mean, did you go to the ceiling and grab a fire hose?
The emergency hose.
But don't they have a fire hose? That's a hotel.
Yeah.
We have fire hoses
went
up
to
there.
the top of the building, though.
You break the glass.
yeah.
You break the glass, and it's there.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have did a little bit more.
It was kind of out of nowhere. Yeah.
That kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, really? And then you started off. I would have freaking tried to hose him off the ledge. But it is a good watch. I think this is one of the better Stephen Kings that adapted well to film.
Yeah, I agree.
You don't get too many Stephen King films that have good adaptation to films, but this is one of the better ones. It is one that you go in. There's points to every story. Quit gambling and don't mess with a fucking my boss's wife. Quit smoking, but I don't think it's to that extreme these days. I'm glad we have good stuff like the patches and different things. But yeah, this is a definitely fun watch. I think this is one of those films that's for anybody in any generation to watch. And but yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, Rick.
Yeah, this movie, it's a fun watch. It goes by quick. And JR, there was one thing that irked me about this film, and you just sparked it in my mind. Was the first segment with James Woods abruptly ending? You're right. I think that segment it needed at least a little bit more, especially like towards the end, because it just all of a sudden you get this whole fight, and General runs off, and then it goes to the next scene. They're all buddy, and then hold on a second, that's it, and then it goes to the next segment. Like that's the first segment. I wasn't like, oh, I'm mad, but I was like, okay, well, let's see where it goes from here. But yeah, right. It did kind of just, once it got going, it petered out, and it's like, okay, this is it. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, all right, let me think it back. What was the point of this segment? Where was the horror? I was just trying to think to myself too much, like, what were they trying to accomplish with that segment? Because you're right, it did just end abruptly. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It was so good that, yes, you want more. So that's not a negative, that's more of a positive. And it could have made it better. I'm going to give it a 3.5 as well. Because you're right, during this time, remember, Creepshow was 82. And that's, to me, that's still, to me, my own opinion, the ultimate anthology film. A wraparound in a comic book, man. Like, come on. Like, you know how much I love comic books. The animation and stuff. And they had more than 3 segments, but some were longer than others. And the cast was amazing. Here, the cast was great as well, but it just felt like it needed a bit more. But as a gateway, I love that must have been Radar. I could see Radar saying
I think it was Radar who said
this is the perfect gateway horror film, because
this is when you want
anyone could enjoy this. It's not, they show you like, if you're a kid, there's enough in there to kind of like give you that feeling. Oh, I should be watching this. Like when the head pops out of the fucking bag and it rolls, and for example. As a kid, seeing something like that, I would be like, oh my god, what the is that a head? You know. So yes, there's enough in there, but for horror fiends like us, watching it now in 2025, it's really light, and it
Very
builds
light.
on fears. You know, whether it's like quitting smoking, because that's a fear in itself. Like quitting smoking must be horrendous, right?
Horrible.
Quitting
It's
any
horrible.
substance, alcohol,
horrible.
drugs, anything, and then the fear of heights. You know, and then you got the whimsical episode with the troll. Again, you got a child that's going through this traumatic event and her parents don't believe her. Again, that is horror in itself right there. And then it wraps around perfectly with the cat finally, and like Nora mentioned, when the cat licked, Amanda's face at the end, I was gonna be like, wait a minute, they're not gonna get no twist and have the cat actually take her breath away, right? I was hoping when I first saw, yeah. So
I remember it
yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect film to show a younger horror fan to get them into films. It's no perversive language or nothing like that. It's got, it's a few F-bombs here and there, but nothing over the top. No crazy drug use or nudity. It's a great entry film into getting into this genre. So 3.5, and it's short. I know Joe wanted more, and I did too.
An hour and a half.
But yes, but I think the way the film is put together as a whole, mind you, Lewis Teague's vision wasn't completely there because it was, his
Studio.
general origin was cut. It's a studio thing, it is what it is. But yeah, it's a fun film. I recommend it to anybody, man. It's definitely one that it deserves its placing in horror. So there you go.
All right. So before I give my closing thoughts, just check on the comments, and I'm gonna go to JR after my closing thoughts to announce our next live stream.
Definitely 5. 80s movies are awesome. 80s movies got such a charm to them. I don't know what it is, man. 85. Come on, man. Day of the Dead was also Return of the Living Dead. Jesus Christ, what a year, man. And I sleep with my eyes open sometimes. I know.
Oh no, Rick, that's freaky, Rick.
That is freaky.
All right, so obviously for nostalgia reasons, it's influenced my score. Like for me, it's a 4.5. It's only because, again, we've discussed the gateway horror. So this is something that if you're a aunt and uncle who your siblings know that you watch horror movies and you're gonna babysit their kids, and all of a sudden their kids come home and go, uncle or aunt, show me this movie. This is one of those movies you show them. It's a great cast. It's memorable stories. Again, scoring is all personable. So, I'm not going to give it a 5. It's
Subjective,
not outstanding. It's subjective. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, because it is one of my childhood favorite ones. It's one of the ones I remember early on seeing that wasn't as traumatizing as some of the shit that we got subjected to accidentally. This was one of those that you can watch again and again. And as you keep watching it, as you get older, like again, I literally didn't get that whole mafia vibe until we rewatched it again for this review.
Yeah.
Because I'm older.
Yeah.
So you start noticing some of the other stuff that were put in there because you're only going to, as a child, when you see this younger, you remember certain things. But now that you're older, you actually see the intellect that was put into the script. It's not the greatest script, but just as far as like the whole mafia tie, because when they were like, well, when James Woods goes, well, what happens if we get to the 4th stage? He goes, and he shows the gun. I'm like, what kind of fucking place are we dealing with here?
When he locked the door with that little button on his desk, all right, that tells you what we were dealing with.
It would have been celebrity deathmatch at that point. So, but yeah, for me, it's a 4.5. So for the next episode, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be doing a live watch for a movie that both Rick and JR have been in, but I'm going to go to JR.
Whoa. We're not in it.
Helped out.
Yeah.
Helped out. All right. Hold on. Anytime you've been in a movie, it includes background work. Just because you didn't act in the front, you were a part of it. So, JR, what movie are we watching next for what actually we're going to watch it live.
A live watch.
So live watch.
I haven't watched it. I've been waiting.
I haven't watched it. I've been holding on. Thursday.
Next week.
Next
Thursday.
week.
Next Thursday.
Someone kidnap me. I'm calling out of work. I've been dying and waiting to watch it.
Norman, kidnapper.
Guys, it's live right now. If somebody watches it, they would be like, listen, I was watching the live stream.
I quit.
Next kid that came up with this whole entire
All right,
plan.
Norman, don't kidnap her. Don't kidnap her.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're
sure.
Halloween Candy. It's streaming currently on Amazon. I think they posted it on YouTube as well. But it was a film that I think 2023 we worked behind the scenes, and yeah,
We're
Rick got attacked, that night. But it was, Doug from Scare Stiff TV. We worked with him on a couple films, and to finally see him get the opportunity, get the chance to actually have one of the films, and it's an anthology too. So it's an anthology that we're going to review. So it has a nice wraparound story. And yeah, we did the film with them. We worked behind the scenes as PAs. It was a pleasure, and it's always exciting when you get to see when you work behind the scenes, how everything just starts getting made, how everybody works together as a team, and how little things that you appreciate behind the scenes. And then when you finally see the movie, I mean, I've held out as much as I can to because I didn't want to watch the movie, but yeah. So we're gonna do it. Halloween Candy.
When
Doug,
you see a lot of fog and smoke, that was us.
That's why we're doing it. I
we
mean,
need
really
more
sad
smoke. JR, hit the smoke machine, JR.
Get the smoke.
that's
That
why
makes
we're
me really
doing this.
sad because I next Thursday I work and I could call out, but I already called out 2 days later for
No, don't call
Joe's
out for
You
us.
party.
can't
No,
do
no,
that
don't
right
do
now. It's literally on camera. It's recorded, right? Like Lexi.
I can't edit this.
I'm trying to tell
I
you
can't-
right now.
I can't
it's
edit this.
live.
I don't care.
I
I don't care.
You
No,
have
I'm
introduced
saying
people
I
to the
can't call
channel.
out. Only
Yeah.
no, because my boss knows that I called out for your party next Saturday.
Still got a party?
I'm
Wait,
doing
what?
this sprinkling.
Look,
No,
JR,
we're
he
gonna-
don't even invite his own family, bro. What the?
You're in Connecticut. You're gonna fly, bitch.
You're
We're
gonna
not
fly?
even about to get into that. I'm trying to get you down for just a visit, just us two. And you're gonna come down for a party, okay? But anyway.
I'm being facetious.
Yeah.
Rick, get some background, Rick, too.
No, I'll wait for the.
Oh, well, the whole thing. Oh, yeah. I mean,
What happened?
yeah. I mean, no. Get some background.
Well, there was. I will say this. There was a night shot that we did. We were shooting at night. It got very late into the night, and everybody went into their cars at one point. And this was during the summer, and they pulled out like sweaters and sweats. I'm like, what the fuck, guys? It feels like 100 degrees out here. Let me tell you, when I got home, a couple of days later, I was covered with mosquito bites from head to toe. I was eaten alive by mosquitoes. That's why they knew that was gonna. Oh my god! So that's on me. But yeah, when they say filmmaking is not easy, it's not, man. It's long, it's grueling, and in between like shots and takes, a lot of downtime. And if you're working outside, especially, you gotta deal with weather, the heat, or the cold, or fucking insects. I hate insects. Oh my god. So yeah, we'll get into the background of our experience between me and JR, because it's an anthology, but they filmed these stories not at once. It was years in between, and they pieced it together. So I worked on some stuff that JR didn't work on, and JR worked on stuff where I wasn't there, and there was some that we both were there. So we'll give you our insights as far as scene by scene, shot by shot, as how it was. But I can't wait, man. I've been waiting for this one. So
And
So
one
exciting.
teaser I'm going to give you guys is one of the films in this anthology was where I watched a person get into character, and I was fucking scared shitless.
JR was scared, bro.
I was
You
scared.
got in JR's face.
Yeah,
He was
I
in character.
scared.
He was like,
Character.
he said,
I was
like,
fucking
and he
scared.
got in JR's. Felt like, holy shit, is JR gonna pop this guy? But nah, JR wouldn't do that.
No,
JR's too
we'll
much
talk
ass.
about that when we get.
Also,
further to-
we filmed in a real life haunted haunted house attraction, Fright Haven in Connecticut at the time. Man, imagine having a whole haunt to yourself, making a fucking movie.
Mhm.
Dude, that was great. Yeah, so we'll get into that. But thank you. Yeah, Joe. We got a couple comments.
You're on mute,
here.
bud. You're on mute. You're on mute. He's still going.
Right before I know Rick already did it.
All right. 4.7 because a 5 is rare. Adam, do me a favor.
Ooh,
What
Adam
would you
gave that.
Before we go, Adam, if you could think of one, what is a 5 for you? What movie would you consider a 5 that you had watched? I'm
An
curious.
anthology or just a horror
No,
movie?
any film, because he said it's rare, so I'm curious.
Evil Dead
Yeah.
2013, I think, is the perfect movie.
I feel like I don't live enough, Adam.
Gotta live your life, Lexi. And Rose, boo! I can't take a fall.
Oh wait, fake a fall.
Oh, I
Fake
see
a
what you
fall.
mean.
Wait. Oh,
Damn
never
it,
mind.
damn it, Rose. Damn it, Rose and Lexi. No, it's on camera. It's live. Stop.
Our bosses don't watch.
We live, pal.
It don't matter. All right. So yes, thank you for
Thank you,
joining
thank
us
you.
tonight for this retro review. Again, Lauren, thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank you.
bro.
Yes. Thank you,
Appreciate it,
Lindsay.
bro.
Lexi did
Nobody
not
noticed our shirts.
Oh my god! I
shit.
swear to God, I did not notice you were wearing the same shirt.
Either.
I did not notice that.
Me either.
Is that a Luffy figure behind you?
Oh, behind me?
Yeah, who's that? That
Which one? This
That
one.
one,
This
yeah.
is Kurt Angle.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
this
I
is
said
the
Luffy.
WWE
Angle.
Ultimate
I'm-
Legends Kurt Angle.
Nice.
And this is a
suck.
horror shirt, by the way,
You
if
suck.
anybody knows. It
Jack
doesn't look like
Del Rey.
a horror shirt, but it is. It's a horror
Huh?
shirt. If you've seen
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everyone. And
Um,
listen, if you're a horror fiend, you know what
crap,
that
what is
shirt
it called?
Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil, that's right.
So and Lexi did not call out for this. She had the
No.
night off for this one.
She had the
So-
for
Yes,
this one, yeah.
yes.
Yes, Lauren,
I'm
Lexi.
completely joking.
No.
Take us home, Joe. Take us home, brother.
Lauren, Lexi, thank you for joining us. Obviously,
Thank
JR, Rick, retro review. We love our retro reviews. It's just something about going back and watching the movies that we watched that we grew up on. So with that, Rick, take us home.
Stay good, stay scared, stay healthy. Most of all, don't fuck with General.